Move to the Middle East for our top story today. The German Chancellor Friedrich Merz and top ministers have criticised Israel with their toughest warning yet. They threaten action and may halt arms sales linked to humanitarian law violations. The move follows rising public anger and a wider EU policy rethink on Israel. While in Gaza, chaos erupted at a US-backed aid distribution centre as thousands of desperate Palestinians rushed to receive food after weeks of a brutal Israeli blockade. The Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, also known as the GHF, which manages the aid, faced criticism. This came as the crowd overwhelmed security measures, forcing the staff to briefly withdraw. The UN Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees condemned the scheme, calling it chaotic and undignified. UNRWA Chief Philip Lazzarini described the new aid model as a waste of resources and a distraction from atrocities in Gaza. He stressed that the existing UN system was well equipped to handle aid distribution without obstruction. Here's what the UNRWA chief said.
The model of aid distribution proposed by Israel does not align with core humanitarian principles. It will deprive large part of Gaza, the highly vulnerable people, of desperately needed assistance.
Meanwhile, according to reports, Israeli airstrikes continued across Gaza, killing at least 16 people, including 9 family members of a journalist. The death toll from the ongoing conflict has now surpassed 53,000, with a significant portion of the casualties being civilians. Lazzarini reiterated that humanitarian assistance should not be politicized and that aid must reach those in need without delay. The solution in Gaza remains dire, with the international community calling for a more effective and unbiased approach to humanitarian relief. We're now joined by our guest today to discuss this in further detail, Mr. Ahmad Fatwa, who is the spokesperson for the Fatah movement located in Ramallah. Thank you very much for joining us. Ahmed, we saw the images coming out of Gaza this morning, chaotic scenes in this new aid distribution program. The US and Israel defend it as a faster way to get aid to people and also less politicized. What concrete flaws did you observe on the ground that back the UN statement that this form of aid distribution is unacceptable?
Thank you for having me. Well, we all saw the images yesterday of the flood of human who are suffering from starvation and in need of food, running for the aid, and that was a catastrophic apocalyptic scene, humiliating to the Palestinian people who are in deep hunger for the past 90 days and on top of 20 months of catastrophic, devastating war. That kind of aid is not non-politicized. It's the most politicized type of aid. Aid should come through the United Nations, through the UNRWA, through the internationally recognized bodies that is neutral, independent, not by organization that belong or managed by Israel and the United States. And we all know what is the position of both of these governments in the case of Palestine. Israel has clearly declared in many occasions, in statements, governments, officials, I don't know what more is needed to declare that they are after the ethnic cleansing of the Palestinian people, the mass expulsion of the Palestinians from Gaza, and what they are doing in the West Bank is the most glaring evidence when they are annexing lands, and the cabinet just recently issued laws to allow Israeli settlers to register lands from the Palestinian West Bank, Area C, which is 60% of the West Bank. That has nothing to do with the hostages, that has nothing to do with Hamas in power in Gaza. That is only for the, let's call it the final solution of the Zionist movement to the Palestinian people, and that is refused. United States still need to look clearly about the situation and have to dismiss the ideas of forcefully removing the Palestinians
Yes.
from Gaza, because that is going to only deepen the situation further.
Ahmed, I just want to just one last question on this topic of the aid that got distributed today. When thousands overran the Rafah center, Israeli troops reportedly they fired warning shots. They've claimed that they didn't open fire on the crowd like it was reported on social media. Some people were saying that. That's proved to be not true. Critics say militarized aid only deepens despair. Supporters, however, cite security. What is your assessment?
Of course, can't take Israel that has been lying for the past 20 months as a serious source. The actual sources from ground has said clearly that fire bullets were raining on the people looking for aid, and more than 60 has been injured, and that is reported, documented, and has been published by everyone. Now, when they provide 1 point of distribution for 2 million hungry human beings, I don't think that is anything close for the purpose of aid. That is close for the purpose of causing this scene of havoc and apocalyptic scene to push the people toward the south. And we all know what they are, the colonial ambitions. Getting them nearer to Rafah, which is in the borders in the south, has been clarified by the far right.
Ahmed, I'm so sorry for the interruption. It's just that we have limited time here. I now wanted to speak about the fact that German Chancellor Merz has risen his objection with some of the Israeli government's actions. He's signalling an arms export freeze tied to humanitarian law violations. I was wondering what your thoughts are on this raising criticism on the Israeli government. Has it come too late in your opinion?
Well, there is an advanced positions by most of European leaders, but we need an implementation of these decisions by sanctioning Israel for their crimes against humanity and violating the international law. Spain has a very advanced position, also as well, to stop all kind of arms to Israel. The upcoming international conference for the two-state solution aims to consolidate the two-state solution and consolidate the state of Palestine, and to stop and push for a ceasefire, because nobody can accept this carnage to continue. The statement by United Kingdom, France, and Canada has also been very decisive against the action of Israel. The entire world has clarified clearly again and again that what is going is against all the international consensus, against all the process of peace, and only serve for further escalation that's gonna erupt the entire region. The Arabs has provided the Arab and Palestinian plan for reconstruction,
yes,
with the acceptance of the Islamic world, and the EU, which says that Hamas should step down from power, and the Palestinian legal authority will go back to Gaza, and we go for a ceasefire, the exchange of hostages, and go for the two-state solution, and that would put an end for the entire chaos. Israel is refusing the two-state solution for the past 40 years.